This podcast is brought to you by our sponsors at LOSERPOOL. Be the last man standing and win £1,000 guaranteed at loserpool.com. For all your taxi needs, download the ADT Taxi app on your smartphone and book your taxi now at ADT Taxis. With Everard's Tiger and Who Knows Wins. Visit whoknowswins.com or download their app today. Who Knows Wins is an app that you can bet amongst yourselves, your friends, your family in a safe environment. And best of all, you can bet against us, the 100% LCFC content team. From October, we will be using the Who Knows Wins app to bet amongst ourselves and you guys, the fans, the 100% LCFC fans. Do you think you have what it takes to beat us, the 100% LCFC team? Try it. Download the app today. Who knows? Wins. Welcome to the second part of this week's 100% LCFC podcast. You're watching on YouTube on LeicesterFanTV.com's YouTube channel, and you're also listening on iTunes, or maybe you're listening on SoundCloud. No matter where you're watching or listening, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Like I said, I've got an away perspective for the game coming up against Newcastle, and it's a good one. It's a great channel. We've got the Magpie channel with us today, and he's going to discuss bits and bobs coming up for the game. So, first of all, Matty, how are you, mate?
Not bad, mate, not bad. Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Well, it's absolutely pissing it down in Leicester, so I'm absolutely soaking, mate, going out on the delivery and that.
I'm staying all day, mate. Indoors all day. I'm like Macaulay Culkin today, Home Alone, man. I'm sitting indoors. Floods outside.
Right, look, I'm going to get straight to the point because last night there was a video that went kind of viral last night, and I want to know your take on it. It was a fan that practically walked into Mike Ashley in London and gave him a bit of stick. What's the main reason why the fans are going against Mike Ashley?
Jesus, where do I start? Well, the guy summed it up in the 20s that he had. He ruined the club. The total ownership and the running of the club since he took over has been a disgrace. Obviously, getting relegated twice since he took over when we've never been relegated before. The whole selling the best players for profit and not reinvesting it. It's just what he's done year in, year out, and he's just dragged it down. You're happy to take 17 every year. Not like Leicester where they shouldn't get it. Their money, it's the complete opposite. So it's an absolute shit show. So
I'm sorry you feel that way about your own club. It's God. I mean, it's just the complete opposite here. I think we've had this conversation before. There's not one Leicester fan in the world, I think, that would have approached one of our owners, so to speak, and said that. You know, not one would have even thought it, let alone the words coming out of their mouth. It's shocking, to be honest. Do you think eventually he'll go?
No.
No.
Thankfully, this season we're finally getting the dwindling attendances. Match that even highlighted it the other day. Lowest attendance in about 12 years. You know, they said it was 43,000. It was definitely below that. There was pockets empty, seats everywhere. People haven't had enough. And it's not the team when it's Steve Bruce in charge. Everyone's worst fears in the summer are coming true because the style of play is horrific. 29% possession at home to Brighton.
That's mad.
Goodness me, man. Unbelievably bad. And Mike actually won't go because you take one look at it.
Yeah, I've just lost.
Newcastle United.
Yeah.
Sell the best players, do just enough to keep afloat. That's the business model, and it works brilliantly for him. You've seen the summer was the perfect chance for him to go. He had a big money offer from those sheikhs from the Dubai. So and he still pushed it. There was meant to be agreed on about 300 all the way up to 350. Still wanting full control of the club shop and shirt sales. And they pulled the plug. Like, it would be a crazy, silly offer for Mike Ashley to sell the club. You're talking like 400 million. There's nobody's going to do that.
It's just crazy. Honestly, I don't know what to say. It's just mind-boggling. It's the complete opposite, and I don't know where to go on that. I think what we best do is just move on from that topic, because it's a hard one to discuss when we're complete opposites. We're the opposite ends of the spectrum on how we feel about our owners at the clubs. But the actual game itself coming up on Sunday. Just a couple of things I want to ask you. First of all, do you miss Perez in your team?
No, because it's not January yet.
Is that when
he doesn't turn up until the second half of the season, and then we'll miss him. He was appalling for us this time last year. He did. I think it was him that got our first goal for our first win against Watford in November last year. So he pops up with important goals, but he's not influential until the second part of the season, honestly. And obviously, I'd love him back in the side now. You'd have him over what we've got. He'd be a good foil for Joelinton, our new number 9 up top. But Perez, I suppose we do miss him, but not massively.
Okay. Any questions for yourself regarding Perez for us? Because you're here. You may as well fire away.
What you made was?
Oh, I'm gonna have to edit that bit, mate, because you completely broke up.
That's right.
Yeah, go on. Say again.
So, I mean, what are your impressions of Perez so far on the Leicester shirt?
That's the thing. I don't think he played that well when he starts. He seems to be a bit better when he comes on as a sub at the moment. He looks like, I don't want to offend like Leicester fans on this one, but he looks like a weak man's Mahrez. He doesn't have it has no strength.
It's so frustrating.
He's got no strength on the ball, and he's got no fight to win the ball either. You know, like the ball come towards him in the air, and there will be another defender with him. He won't make an effort to try and win it. He'll just get mullered by the defender. And this has happened time and time again at the weekend. And it was getting a bit frustrating, to be honest. And I was glad that he got subbed off when he did.
Mm.
I prefer the machine of Harvey Barnes and Mark Albrighton on our wings at the moment than having Perez on. Perez, for me, he just seems like a super sub full of skills at the end of a game, which can take out a tired defence.
He is an absolute soft shite, and for years Newcastle fans said if he hit the gym, he'd become a much better player.
Yeah.
But the only thing that we miss from Perez is if you get the ball in the box, he'll generally score. He's great at like a snapshot, but if you give him one-on-one, he'll delay. It takes too long. There is a player inside there.
Yeah, I don't know what. I mean, do you think we got kind of, when we came in for the 30 million, it was 30 million pounds, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they just looked at that and went, yeah, you can have him for 30 million? Like
there was a release clause.
Yeah, it was literally just out the door, bye bye sort of thing. Like no regrets whatsoever.
Perez had been hinting for 2 years that he wanted to leave, although there was frustration with Newcastle fans because he had always said he wanted to go back to Spain, and then he ends up down the road in Leicester. Bit bizarre, but at the same time, at least it's a club showing an ambition, pushing for Europe. Whereas, as we've said, Newcastle are the complete opposite. But the thing is that Mike actually paid 1.5 million for Jose Perez about 6 years ago from Tenerife as this young prospect. And look how that's panned out for him, turning 1 million into 30 million. Ideal in Mike Ashley's world.
Yeah, for in Ashley's world, I suppose that's a profit put back into his own businesses, I suppose. Which is, again, sorry that he's not putting the money back into the club. Hopefully he will do it at some point, eh? Now, Newcastle played Leicester only a few weeks ago, like we were saying off camera. I'd actually forgot because my memory is terrible. And you went to that game, didn't you? Can you tell me a little bit about that game?
I was so surprised at how poor Leicester were that night. We should have won that game, and that was our second string team. That was out. We had so many players missing for that game. We had Muto topped by Selva. He hasn't really featured. You know, Joelinton. There was big misses in that team, even in defence. We had like third, fourth choice centre backs were pulled in. We had, Darlow in goal, the second keeper. Like, we still should have won that game. You took the lead with that fluky free kick, the deflected one off Madison.
Yeah, that's
I don't
right.
think he had. I was looking forward to seeing him play. I highly rate him. I don't think he turned up. I don't think Varley looked like he was bothered that night. But Newcastle are just as bad as England on penalty shootouts, and we're never going to go through. But we should have capitalised.
Yeah.
We should have went through.
Yeah. I mean,
feeling.
Yeah, we've got Luton Town tonight in the next round, and again, it's a big question if Brendan Rodgers is going to send in the full squad or half squad, and depends on the night if the boys even turn up, like you say. I'm not actually fancying it. I've said 2-0 originally to Leicester, but I don't know. I'm the more I think about it, the more Luton Town have got a reason to really go out and win it than us. We should really be focusing on, I think, securing top 6, because everyone's putting a bet on Leicester to secure top 6. So I think they should just all go out and secure that.
I wouldn't have been happy with the draw away to Luton. It's not a good draw. I think it's a tricky tie. It's a giant killing waiting to happen. I think Luton have got some decent players. So for me, it's an awkward one for you. That I'm just praying that a couple of players get injured for a week or two.
Yeah, coming up on Sunday, though, coming up on Sunday, with obviously you're coming here at the Kingpower Stadium. You've been here before, right? And you enjoy it down here. As much as I think Leicester fans enjoy it in Newcastle, it's always a good turnout. The fans are good down Newcastle, and I think we've got the sort of same following. We're very localised. We love our club, and we'll make a little bit of noise. What's your take on the game coming up? Because where are you at the minute in the table? 17th, 18th?
Yeah, 17th.
Yeah, and you've come off of, what is it, a loss, a draw and a loss?
Yeah, back-to-back draws now. Drew against Watford 1-1, and then we drew obviously against Brighton 0-0 and won the
Yeah,
games ever.
Leicester, on the other hand, I think personally we should have got something at Old Trafford against Man United. They were a weakened side, but again, what happened? We didn't seem to turn up, and we couldn't break them down. They put 11 men behind the ball, and we struggled to break them down. And I find that teams that sit back, we do struggle to break down. Do you think Newcastle United might do that? Might sit back and wait for us to, to be able to struggle and then maybe catch us on the break?
That's exactly what they'll do. Brucey will have the mega bus and the National Express parked right up at the Kingpower. Everyone behind the ball, and then just on the wing to pounce and get his pace in behind, and hopefully someone's there to tap him because he can't score for Toffee, Almiron. So it'll literally be the 5 wing backs, the 5 at the back with the wing backs pushing forward, bit of pace, pretty much identical to what we did against Liverpool. Great, took the lead, and then obviously you can't do anything against when Firmino came off the bench. Game changer. You could say the same thing is going to happen at Leicester. We might catch you, we might take the lead, but ultimately your quality should show, and I think your team's unbelievable. Some of the players have got absolute class, but there seems to be that problem of which Leicester's going to turn up. If it's the one that turned up at St James's Park the other week, I'd fancy it. If it's the one that went on Old Trafford, but the one that rallied back against Spurs on the weekend and then produced a moment of magic, Madison, I kind of see we're having much chance, really. It is a great place to go for us, the Kingpower. Won there the last 2 seasons in a row. But the one that got us the goals in those games was Jose Perez, and now he's on the other side. So
yeah, it's funny that you're saying the same thing as me. We do seem to have this problem at the moment where what Leicester turns up, because Maddison's had some off games. He's highly rated, highly hyped. But if you're a Leicester fan and you watch him for 90 minutes, you do see some of his not so great spots. It's almost like he's a player that's hyped up in the media as much, and they also like to show his best bits but not his worst bits.
Yeah, because he's English, isn't it? That's what they always do.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. And I'm a little bit worried about that, depending on what Leicester team turns up. But I am gonna go for a home win. again for another win on the bounce. I'm going to go for a 2-1. I'm going to go for a 2-1 myself.
I'm going to unfortunately agree with you. I think I've just had a little think to myself there, and I can see a 2-1. Honestly, I could see we're potentially taking the lead, and then Leicester just absolutely going for it.
So it's good.
It'll just be a matter of time, depending on the minute we do take the lead. Liverpool-esque, where if you have 60, 70 minutes to get those goals, you probably will. And I'd be delighted with a point. I'd snap your hand off for it now. But I don't think we'll get hammered. I think it'll be a close game. That Rafa resilience that was put in there by him to make us hard to beat, to make organised. Didn't really look that way against Brighton, mind, but obviously worked against Spurs. So I'd still say we'll probably just about get beat. Maybe I'll go for 2-1 Leicester.
2-1 Leicester. Both going 2-1. Thank you for coming on today. Where can we find you, Matty?
The Magpie Channel TV on YouTube, _ Magpie Channel on Twitter, and at the Magpie Channel on Instagram.
I'll drop those in the description of the video and in the podcast notes as well. Thank you for coming on, mate. I'll hope to see you maybe at St James Park, because you're not coming on the Sunday. You're tied up, aren't you? So we'll see you. Might see you at St James's Park.
Hopefully, mate. Yeah, anytime, mate. Anytime. Pleasure.
Thank you for coming. And there you go, Matty with a 2-1 Leicester win. 2-1 Leicester win myself as well. This was pre-recorded before the Luton game last evening. If you're listening on Wednesday, we won 4-0. Woohoo! Seriously though, there's some crazy goals in that, so you might want to try and get them on, just Google them or something. But we'll talk about that probably on 100% LCFC in the week. Like I said, I'll drop the Magpie channel's description and their links so you can follow Matty and the Magpie channel on Twitter and social media. And make sure you subscribe to our channel, no matter where you are. If you're listening on SoundCloud or iTunes, you can subscribe on those platforms. If you're watching on YouTube, you can subscribe here too. So hit the button and you will hit the notification bell as well, and you'll get notified. Make sure you follow me at lee_chappy on Twitter and Instagram. That's it for this week. I shall see you after the Newcastle game. Come on, Leicester. Keep it 100%, guys.